in the middle. What can I do? Yeah, I just wanna be right next to you.
Hey guys, welcome back to the vlog. So today is going to be a bit different of a vlog than I've shared before, but I'm basically going to just be getting ready with you guys. I'm going to be putting my makeup on. I already have my hair done, but I need to get my makeup on. And in my last vlog, I talked about how I was kind of in a funk with this whole quarantine thing. I wanted to kind of start sharing some things that I have learned or started doing that has helped me kind of pull me out of that funk and get back into surviving through the quarantine. I've been kind of trying to figure out how I'm going to share these, and I think just really casually while I'm getting ready is a great way because I can actually sit there and talk to you guys without the distractions of life. Two different categories that I have are one, like how I've been managing to stay healthy, like mentally and emotionally, and then the other one is just things that I've been doing to help stay productive during this time. I think I'm going to start with the emotional and mental one, just because I feel like you have to be emotionally and mentally good during this time if you want to be productive. And also, I'm not going to mention like every makeup item I'm using, but I will be doing my best to link everything that I'm using down below in the description box for you guys. So I just want to mention that as well. All right, so the first thing that I think is so helpful when you're trying to be like mentally and emotionally good is working out. It's kind of funny because working out is obviously like very physical, but it just does so much for your mental health. Working out, moving your body, just being active, I've just found it helps so much. I recently got a treadmill and that's been helping so much. I'll link the one I have below, and I'll also link another one that I like that was like the runner up to the one that I ended up getting. It's been really nice just because I can kind of like, no matter how I'm feeling, I can do a treadmill. Like I can run if I'm feeling good, if I'm feeling like really tired. Like one night, even I think it was at like 10 at night, I just couldn't sleep, so I just went and walked on the treadmill for a little bit. And even though it wasn't like hardcore workout, I was still being active, moving my body. And anyway, so I think that helps. If you don't have any workout equipment at home, like we've not had a workout equipment at home for like most forever, and you can totally do just at-home workouts. I know YouTube has a ton of at-home workouts, so they're all free. The next thing is to meditate. That's something that I've started doing. I actually used to do this all the time, and I started doing it recently again, and it has made such a huge difference. It's just been really nice because it lets you take a little bit of time for yourself and just time to kind of reflect, time to like calm your mind and calm your body. I feel like it's just like a big glass of water for your body. It just helps you. It's just like so healthy and so good. And there are lots of different ways that you can do that as well. Again, YouTube, like YouTube has everything I feel, but YouTube, you can go on YouTube and they have tons of free guided meditation. Just type in guided meditation. You can type in like even sleep meditation, even if like you don't feel like you have time during the day or you don't have the opportunity during the day. The next thing is super helpful and super easy. It's just get out in the sun. I feel like because we're all at home right now, a lot of times we feel like we're just stuck in the house. And while we are stuck at home, you're not stuck inside. Like you can go outside, go in your yard, go for a walk, go, you know, whatever. Even if you, for some reason, like can't go outside, even if you just open up your windows and just like let the fresh air in, I feel like that has been helping a lot. It just makes everything feel a little bit more alive and good. I know we've been going on a lot of walks and just hanging out in our backyard a lot, or like if it's too cold to go outside a bunch, because here in Utah sometimes it's snowing and sometimes it's 70 degrees. It just depends. But even if we can't go outside, we're opening our windows. We're just bringing a lot of the outdoors inside kind of as much as we can. The next thing I had written down is to eat healthy and drink water. I think this is another thing that we all are just like stuck at home, and I've definitely been guilty of not eating healthy while we're at home, and then I've just been kind of like trying to get back on track with that, because just because you're at home and you're kind of feeling like in a funk, that's not something that you really want to focus on, but it really does make such a huge impact. So I've been starting to drink close to a gallon of water a day, but if you can just have like some fresh produce in your house and just try to like prep that out. I have a lot of videos I've shared over on my main channel where I prep out our food and stuff, and that just honestly makes such a huge difference. And you can also, even if you don't have like fresh food, because I know we're not going to the stores a bunch right now, you can even just do this with frozen fruit and frozen veggies and stuff. Like just heat up some frozen veggies, or with frozen fruit, what's like one of my favorite snacks right now is just microwaving the frozen fruit for maybe like 20 seconds, just enough to kind of take like the really like super frozen stuff out, and then it's just like, it's still cold and it's still semi-frozen, but you're able to eat it, and that's so delicious. You can just pop that in a bowl, pop it in the microwave, and then just grab a fork and eat it, and it is so delicious, and it's already cut up too. So that's kind of like my go-to treat right now. Having quiet time and having no electronics has been so nice, because it's definitely easy to just sit there and watch TV all day, or like have your kids on tablets all day. And my kids have definitely had a lot more tablet time than normal, which I don't think is really a bad thing considering everything. Like, it's just kind of an escape for everybody. You can kind of like zone out and just watch something. And so that's been nice, but I think it is also good to not just let yourself get totally sucked into that and not like do anything else throughout the day, you know? So just making sure to take time out. Like, we will let the kids have their tablets for a little bit, and then we will say, okay, time, you know, to turn it off, and they'll turn it off, and they'll either have to figure out if they want to go outside, or if they want to play with toys, or if they want to read books, or, you know, whatever. But just taking that time for them and also for us. Put your phone in the other room, get away from it all, just kind of like zone in on your home and your family. And I feel like that has been something that's just been really important. I think that's always important to do, but I think especially right now when we're all just stuck at home, and a lot of things, you know, that you see with your phone and on social media and things like that is just kind of a little bit overwhelming sometimes. So I think that's something good to remember and just keep in mind. Which brings me to my next and final point for helping like with emotional and mental health, is just taking a break from news and social media in general. Being aware of what's going on is so important, and also having those connections like with social media and things, and connecting with friends and people is so important. But I also think it's just as important to pull back from that and just take a break and just let your mind kind of like not think about it sometimes. Like, that's why on my other channel I've tried to not sit there and talk about the quarantine all the time, or talk about what's going on in the world all the time, because I want that to be kind of like a space where you guys can just go have a friend to hang out with for a little bit, and you're not like constantly reminded of all the craziness in the world. So I think that is something that's just so important as well. It is good to be aware of what's going on and stay connected with people. It's also good to just like quiet that as well. All right, so the next part that I wanted to talk about is things that I have been doing to be productive and stay productive during this time. I feel like part of the time I'm like, oh, like we're on a break, like the whole world is shut down, but it's really not. And you still need to be productive, whether you are working at home, teleworking at home, or whether you are out of work right now. It's still just good and healthy to be productive. I struggled with that for a little bit, like the first 1 or 2 or 3 weeks. I don't even know, I've lost track of time in this quarantine, but I finally feel like I've gotten back into the groove of life. And these are the things that have helped me get there. So the first thing is to wake up on time. I know, like, for the first week or so at least, the boys didn't have school. And so it was like there's no really great reason that I had to get up early, unless if I had to like put up a video, or unless I had to film something, or, you know, like if I didn't have a big thing on my to-do list in the morning, there was no reason for me to get up early. The boys weren't waking up on time because they didn't have school. I didn't have to wake up on time. And so that was something that definitely threw me off quite a bit. And now I'm waking up on time. I'm not waking up like super early, like maybe as early as I would be if the boys were going to school, but like we're waking up at like a decent hour, like earlier on in the day, not, you know, waking up at like 9 or 10 or something. To go along with that, when you get up, I think it's also good to shower, if you shower in the morning, and get dressed, basically just like get ready right when you wake up. I feel like when I'm not dressed for the day and I'm not like put together and ready, I feel like I'm just so much less productive during that time. Which also brings me to my third point, which is to actually get ready for the day. Whether if you do makeup, I would suggest putting makeup on like a lot of days, or doing your hair, or putting on a cute outfit. Like, you don't have to get fancy or anything, but just putting yourself together, I feel like makes you so much more productive. I know like there have been days where I know that I'm just going to be editing from morning till night, and there's really like no reason that I have to be get ready for the day. But I also know that when I'm sitting there editing my video, if I am not ready, I am so much slower at it. I'm just like less productive. I'm less motivated to keep going. And I think it's just like a mental thing. But for me at least, it makes a huge difference if I take the extra, you know, however many minutes it takes. It doesn't take that long. Here's like my white eyelashes. This is a lash primer. I just kind of like started, I've actually had this for a long time, and I just started using it. I think I like it. I think it's making a bit of a difference with like my mascara. I convinced Kyle the other day that white eyelashes were like a new fad, and he was like, well, looks a little bit weird. He was super nice about it, but I was like, if I ever go out with white eyelashes, just tell me it's not good. But anyway, next tip, I think this is my 4th tip for her being productive, is this one actually came from Kyle. He said that we should start, like, make sure that you have time anchors. And I don't know if this is a term that is widely used or anything, but it's just one that he came up with. Basically, it's like at 9 a.m. you start the kids' school. Like our kids are at home right now for school through all this. So it's like at 9 a.m. every day you start school. At 4 p.m. you start cooking dinner. At, you know, whatever time, like at 8 p.m. you start getting ready for bed for the kids, or like whatever it is. So this will be like very personal to you and your life and your needs and everything. But I think having those time anchors are really important, especially when you're at home and like the days kind of run together. And it doesn't have to be like every single part of your day has to be anchored, but if you can have like a few, like 3 or 4 like big time anchors, it just makes the day feel more structured, and I feel like you get a lot more done that day. And I also feel like it just helps you feel like you're doing well during that time. So anyway, time anchors are something that has been really helpful. And if you need to, you could even like set reminders on your phone, or not reminders, like little alarms on your phone at 4 p.m. just say like, you know, start cooking or something like that. The next one is to have a good cleaning routine. I feel like especially when we're home, I think this is important all the time, but especially when we are all home during this time, it's so important to have a somewhat clean space. It does not have to be perfect, and especially if you have kids, it's probably not going to be anywhere close to perfect, like 99% of the time. Because we are all at home, it is so important to have a cleaner space and just like a clean and like kind of mess-free environment. It's just good. I know that when our house gets crazy, everyone in our house struggles. Like we all just feel a little bit more on edge. We're quicker to get frustrated with people. We are less patient with one another, and it's just amazing like the difference that it makes when your house is tidied and picked up versus when it's messy. I'm actually going to be sharing over on my main channel, possibly starting next week, or if not, then starting in April, all of my different cleaning routines. And they are honestly very, very easy because I've been forced to simplify them a lot. Back when I was a stay-at-home mom and I didn't work at all at home, like now I do YouTube, but so that takes up a lot of my time. But before, when I didn't do YouTube, I felt like I was able to put more time into my cleaning routines, and now it's like I've got to really pick and choose because I'm working, you know, at least 40 hours a week at home. I need to make sure that my routines are doable. The ones that I'm going to be sharing are very doable and very simple, but I feel like they just help so much. And also during this time, just because you have a cleaning routine does not mean it only has to be your cleaning routine. Everyone in the family, everyone who is home can help you out with that. A lot of times, like with kids, we will try to either kind of incentivize them a little bit to help a little bit faster, or kind of like more stay on track. So it's like, okay, as soon as we tidy up the living room as a family, we can go for a walk, or as soon as we, you know, like do our chores for the day, we can have some TV time, or whatever you want to do with that. But I think that is something fun. Another thing is we have like races, like who can who can finish their job the fastest, you know, like we'll give like each kid a different task. So there's lots of different ways to kind of include other people, but definitely try your best to include your family in this, because it just goes a lot faster if you can get everyone, especially if you can get everyone to like actually work. Because sometimes like we'll talk to our kids like, go ahead and do that, and it takes them like an hour. I could have done that faster. But if you can incentivize them a little bit to like really work hard at it, then it can actually take a lot less time. The next tip I have is to find a project, and my main point for this is to just help yourself stay focused. I feel like when we are home right now, it's so easy to just kind of let everything go, and then it's like you might not feel like you have a purpose, you don't have like something to kind of focus on. And so I think just having a project is so good. So that could be like doing a room makeover if you're able to order things online, or if you can just use things that you have in your own home, you could go through and like reorganize things. One thing that is free, literally every single person can do this, and I feel like this helps you in so many different ways, is to find a space to declutter. No matter how decluttered you are, I feel like you can always declutter more. And that is a really great project that you could focus on. If there's been something you've been trying to do, like you've been trying to start a garden or like paint a room or just different things around the house, I feel like there's always something. Then I think that would be really good to kind of focus on that a little bit, because it gives you something like a goal to work towards. So I think that is really helpful. And then my last tip, I think that's my last one. Yep, my very last tip is something that has helped me so much. And that is every single night, like before bed, Kyle and I will sit down and we'll each set like 3 tasks that we need to complete tomorrow. And doing that the night before is just so helpful, because then when you wake up, it's like you don't wake up and have to do all your daily morning things and then try to figure out what's set up for the day. But instead, the night before, it's like you're kind of like pre-planning, like what do we have going on today, or what do we have going on the next day, and then make sure to pick your top 3 tasks. So like I might have to film a video, I might have to, you know, edit something, I might have to order something for a room makeover I have coming up, just different things like that. But it's like, as long as I fill up those 3 tasks, and as long as I tackle those 3 tasks, then I'm good to go. And it just, doing it the night before, I feel makes such a big difference, because like I said, then you wake up the next day and it's kind of like, you know what your expectations are, like you know what you have to do that day. Otherwise you can wake up and it's like you kind of like hang out, you mope around, you do whatever, and then you're like, well, what did I need to do today? And then it might be too late to do it, or you might not have the motivation to do it anymore because you've let so much of the day slip by. Whereas if you wake up knowing, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this, you can kind of set yourself up for success that day. And then you also feel a lot more accomplished during the day, which I feel like is so important during this time too. That is everything. I think I'm all done. I think I got all my makeup on. I usually don't do lips. If I do any kind of thing on my lips, I just do chapstick, because I'm pretty basic with that. I'm like in no way a beauty guru at all. I've pretty much done the same kind of makeup since I got married, probably. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope that it can help you. I hope that it can kind of give you some different ideas, and maybe take a few things from this and try to implement them into your life right now, and hopefully make you feel a little bit better during this time. Always know that you are not alone in this. We are all feeling, honestly, like so much more similar than we realize. I feel like when you're feeling alone in something, you're really not alone in it. Like there are so many others that are feeling the exact same way at the exact same time. So just know that you're not alone during this time. If you guys want to chat in the comments, I'm always there to chat with you guys. I love talking to you guys and just kind of creating that friendship and just enjoying this community that we've created together. But do not forget to subscribe down below if you are not already, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.